Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Today we have the privilege of hearing from Jesus himself, the Word of God, to hear him say, which is the greatest commandment? This question was asked him by a scholar of the law and probably asked maliciously in trying to get Jesus to stumble and to stumble in his words and therefore give them a reason to cast accusation against Jesus. But as we see, Jesus nails it, and no one can doubt uh, that what Jesus says is absolutely true, because he goes on to say, the greatest commandment is, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. He said, this is the great and foremost commandment. And, who can argue with that? To love God with every fiber of your being, with everything that you have, of course, that's the greatest commandment. From that commandment flows everything else. A person won't even keep the other commandments if they don't love God wholeheartedly, and they'll fail in their keeping the commandments if they don't love God wholeheartedly with everything that they have. And so what this ought to do for us is to say, this must have a lot of importance if Jesus says this is the greatest commandment. And it's something that we have to come back to time and time again to ask ourselves, am I fulfilling this commandment? Do I truly love the Lord my God with all of my heart, soul, mind, and strength, with everything that I have? Practically what this means is that God takes priority over everything. It means that we always seek the will of God above everything else. That's a good litmus test as to whether or not we truly love the Lord with everything that we are. If we're constantly putting other things before God, if we're violating his commandments and going against his will and living in rebellion, obviously that's not loving him with our whole heart. But at the same time, even in the day-to-day matters, do we put God first? Every day when we wake up, is it our highest priority to say, today I'm going to dwell in the presence of God. I'm going to put God first. I'm going to seek the Lord. I'm going to fix my eyes on him. I'm going to center myself on God, and he's going to be my highest priority today. My to-do list may not get done. There might be certain things that I have to shift around in order to make that happen, but I'm going to give God my utmost priority. He's going to have the highest priority in my life today, because I love him above everything else. What you love, you always give priority to. Whether it's your spouse, whether it's a hobby that you have, whatever it might be, if it's your job that you love, typically the things that we love the most, we give the most priority to. And the same thing is true with the Lord. If we truly love him with everything that we have, he's always going to be first. He's always going to be our first choice. And that is something that should guide us throughout our lives. So if we haven't been putting God first, and God hasn't had a priority in our lives, and if he's just given the leftovers of our day, we might want to check our hearts and say, do I truly love the Lord? And if I do, why am I not letting that flow out into my life? And hopefully our reading today will motivate us to that end. So these are some things we can reflect on and think about as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.